Hello, 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 everybody. Sorry I didn't set this up sooner. Let me get everything going. Tonight, we are going to be combining Rosalina and the Sorceress. Let's see. Let's bring up a picture of Rosalina. And a picture of the Sorceress. I think I'm gonna have this is gonna be the Sorceress from 2002 series, although we're going to try and do a little bit of combination of both. I do really I like the design, of course, of the original, but I also really like this design as well, the 2002 version. And I'm gonna have to share this out. So we gotta bring up the um, stuff so I can see. YouTube, Chelsea, Merge, Mario, He-Man, Sorceress, Rosalina. There isn't really a lot to work with Rosalina here, in my opinion. Hello, Metal. How are you? And hello, Evan. Is that my wife, the sorceress? She does look very Egyptian there for sure. Okay, let me share this out, and then I will be in the Discord if anybody wants to get in there. Live. Oh, and I forgot to change the date. Okay, so gonna do that before we share it out anywhere. This is May the 5th. So it's Revenge of the 5th. And how are you, Evan? And how are you, Metal? Okay, there we go. That's done. Let's share out on the X. Share out on Facebook. Okay, and we'll grab that. Close and Discord, and then we put it in the videos going live. So Alpha no. And roll no. I think Van Hoser gets notified automatically now. And we have metal in the on air. Rick is late. Huh? Can you hear me? Metal?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Here we go. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I completely forgot I had on my mixer my mic turned off because I was using my computer speakers earlier to listen to stuff, and I didn't want feedback accidentally happening.
Evan says, Rick, I do not consent to you drawing lewd images of my wife. Also, I may be a Pokemon master. Okay, first of all, which one of these is supposed to be your wife? And I'm not drawing lewd images of either of these characters. I'm combining these characters. So I guess
Well,
that would
if
mean
he's the star of his own harem manga, they could both be his wife.
sure. But I'm guessing he's going more with the sorceress for this because this version of the sorceress does look very much more Egyptian, I would say, compared to the original.
Hmm. Kind of looks a little, let's say, like Zoroastrian.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what is it?
Well, that's fine. We'll just leave on that.
You just leave
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
because I don't know what Zoroastrian is.
Yep.
Evan says I am not a polygamist. So in this image, we actually there, of course, is the original sorceress look with Orko and Man at Arms. Uh, so you know, there is not a lot to. I was saying, I'm not sure whether you heard. Not a lot to. What's her name? Rosalina. Her look.
I think there's a lot of very, very specific things that define her look. That's
Yeah,
that's actually the strength of a simple character design is that you can really focus on the things that define the look. Like part of it is her sideswept bang that covers one eye.
yeah. Although I must admit, the original sorceress is probably fairly simple too. But he says yes. I'm not a Pilates either. Pilates either.
Pilates
Okay.
so disappointed to me when I found out it was like an exercise routine because it really sounds like it would be some type of food when you hear it. Like it'd be some like crepe or something. It's like, yeah, I'll order a Pilates. And it's like, sure, I'll still order a Pilates if it's like an attractive woman doing it in front of me, but I was expecting food.
I got the food. Alright, so take more of a sorceress pose here. Arms wide, sort of like you see her in the original there with Orko and Man at Arms.
See, if you
Uh,
were good with perspective, you could do it arms wide like that, but like with one coming towards the camera, because then you could have like Rosalina twirling her wand in that pose. That this like you could combine them, but and then you
Yeah.
can make it instead of like a little star wand, you can make it like a wand, but it could have like the falcon on it, right? Like you could
Eh.
as part of the combination of the things. But you know, Rick, you struggle as it is. We don't need to bring perspective into it.
Evan says, Rick, can you ask Metal if he's still married to Marsupial?
I am not legally married to anyone. Um, I can't say that he came back to the house for the first time in over a week today. Like he's been at his girlfriend's place because of his messed up eye, and also he just feels bad. He's hoping it'll go back to normal on its own, but I'm like, dude, you might need to go see like a doctor about that or something. But I've been here by myself for a little over a week.
Okay, so I think I really like the short skirt of the sorceress or bathing suit type thing. But I think to make this very Rosalina-esque, Evan says, what happened to his eye? I'm going
Oh, I
to.
don't know exactly. He and like his girlfriend's named Peach, so we're not talking about the Mario character, though I think she chose the name based on the Mario character. Anyway, he and Peach got down with something right before he went to go drive her back home because she was here the weekend before that. Some sickness, I don't know. It had them. They were locked in uh, their back room, the master bedroom, for like all weekend before they even left. So I didn't even see them before that, right? Um,
There's reasons,
but
other
then like
reasons it could be locked in there.
no, it's definitely because they were sick. In this case, it was definitely because they were sick. Um, but yeah, he went back there, and then like sometime by the time they got back to her place, he was like, "Dude, my," he was telling me this while I was streaming Pragmata. He was in the chat instead of like texting me or whatever. It's like, you really want to be typing this information in the chat? But he's talking about how like one of his eyes for some reason got misaligned. Like his eye was like shifted to the left, almost like lazy eye, right? So he couldn't really see properly. So he kept saying he was trying to make it back home all week, but he just couldn't because of that. And even today, to be able to get back, he had to like eye patch, right, so that it wasn't messing with his depth perception or anything. Um, which I was going to recommend that to him if he didn't already do it. Um, but yeah, and apparently it's still like that. I'm like, dude, if it's been like that for all week, you might have to see a doctor about that.
He said, well, did he turn into Rosalina? He asked. He got the beaver fever.
Maybe I guess that's the one that makes you go all crazy eye like Steve Buscemi and Mr. Deeds.
Okay, so I guess we'll do the eye thing or the hair thing.
You thought you was going to say pink eye? No, not pink eye. Which, if I was selfish, I would say thankfully because pink eye is highly contagious. Though, if it was pink eye and everybody there had it, he probably would have still not have come back if it was still um, on
Contagious?
that point. Yeah. Um, but Not being selfish, actually, pink eye would have been better because that will eventually run its course. You don't know if some weird misalignment of your eye will run its course or if you need some type of actual medical correction. I've yet to contract pink eye in my life, though I've known many people who have.
Well, I've never
Hopefully, it
had.
stays that way.
I believe I've never had it either. Although my cousin says she's had it a few times. So, okay, how do I do this? I want to show the hair coming across the one eye. This that's going to be under the thing, and then we'll just show her with her one eye out here.
Yes, you can in fact get conjunctivitis, the proper name for pink eye, from, as Evan says, poo particles. I prefer the technical term fecal matter, fecal particles in this case, but getting into your eye. That is one of the ways you can get it. That's why you wash your hands after you use the, well, specifically after number two. You don't necessarily need to always after number one, but it's probably better anyway to do it for everybody else's sake, you know? But contrary to urban myths and legends, you cannot get it from a fart. Some people, for some reason, think you can get pink eye from like a fart, or somebody like farted on your pillow, or something like that.
Evan Fitzgerald in the chat says, "Hi everybody." Evan says, "I think we could have shortened this conversation to Marsupial caught pink eye when he was stuck in the bathroom." TM.
Oh, I think he said back rooms,
Oh,
not
back room.
bathroom.
Okay, yeah, back rooms.
Yeah, yeah. Does that replace the bacteria that's in there? Because there's a certain type of bacteria in the back rooms that kind of grows into monstrous colonies where you just replaced it with conjunctivitis. You know, that'd be a completely different backrooms horror.
And then it says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was talking to a fecal philytic." Or yeah, I'll let you figure out how to say that.
A fecophiliac? No, I am not. But I actually, so one of the reasons I know this is because back in 2016,
Hello,
I
everybody.
think, is when it happened. Hello.
Oh,
We had a roommate named Aaron who worked at Firehouse House with us, ended up moving in with us, me and my brother, temporarily. And he was just dead certain that you could get pink eye from somebody farting on your pillow. And I had to like, even explaining it to him, because he wasn't the brightest guy, he just refused to believe it. I actually had to show him the research on it to his face. Like I had to drag him to my computer, show him actual like documented paperwork on it that it's like, no, you absolutely will not get it from somebody farting in your pillow.
Yeah, because as far as just methane, so
Yeah. Now, if somebody were to shart in your direction, that'd be completely different. But they'd also have to be nude, and that like, why are you standing around this person in the first place? Like, I'm not even approaching somebody like that. You know, they can handle themselves, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Um, earlier today, I went on. I went and looked up all the sci-fi original programming of TV shows that had existed, and
Okay.
from what I heard, from in 2010s, I didn't watch these shows, but from what I heard, Killjoys and the Magicians were good. But I only seen clips of the Magicians. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
Killjoys was
but
good. I seen it.
but
Never
but
heard of
but
it.
Killjoys is a show about space bounty hunters apparently, and the Magicians is about wizards, obviously. Um, but I'm like, but the problem is sci-fi relied way too much on those asylum creature features. Was
Yeah, well,
it's
like
like
I said before, it doesn't matter if you have any good content on your channel. If every time somebody flips it on, it's just bad content. They're not going to stick around for the good stuff.
True.
and then there's a lot of missed opportunities that sci-fi had. Sci-fi had why didn't they do a Buffy the Vampire Slayer knockoff or
Why didn't
Supernatural? Still have long Supernatural went for it.
Why didn't they
Good.
Oh,
continue Anna Mondays after the odds?
no, why did
Why did
Watch
they?
block.
Why did they put wrestling on their channel?
Yeah, like there's so many
exactly?
dumb decisions they made.
There's so many dumb. Yeah, they rely way too much on the asylum.
Now,
The creek that.
if they made their own like wrestling thing that was like super sci-fi theme with a bunch of production and stuff like that in the storyline, I could kind of see that, but they didn't even
Yeah.
go that far.
They
No,
just put WWE, move
Yeah, yeah.
WWE onto sci-fi.
yeah, which makes no sense.
Nah.
Uh, Evan says, Rick, you host a weird show. Yes, I know. And then he says, I wasn't expecting all this poo talk. Well, I think
you're
you
the one
brought
that
it.
started it, so
Yeah. I was just about to say that. You brought it up.
Yeah. But just before I came in, I was currently trying to write on my phone, which I rarely ever do. Nah,
I
right,
write on my
like
phone
just
all the
looks
time.
like I have to do that now.
I used to not like writing with my phone. I don't know what it was. I think it's because I started on like my really, really bad phone that I had since like 2014, which was already a hand me down from my brother. I think he got it in 2012 or whatever. And it wasn't as big as my current one, but even my last phone, I probably should have been fine. I just was in that habit of not liking it. Google Docs with the keyboard that's on this phone here works really, really well. Like, I don't mind writing on this at all.
Okay, so did there, I don't
The
did
only problem is that, and this is a skill issue entirely, I very often tend to fat finger the period when I want to hit space with my right thumb, and it's because the space bar is so small. I don't know why it's so small. The,
Mm.
I don't need that much room for like the enter and stuff on the sides. Like, make those smaller and just like make the space bar bigger.
Evan says, "Oh bother." uh, do you remember if the original sorcerers had a scepter or not?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Because I
I
didn't see any.
vaguely remember one, but I don't know if that's my memory just inserting it.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure because like I've got a few pictures of the original sources from He-Man. I think in the whatchamacallit one, the live action from the 80s, she might have,
Yeah.
but I don't think in the cartoon she did.
Yeah, because like I see pictures of the old one with it, but they're all they look like fan art and stuff. I don't see any like frames from the show. But then my question is, if you know all these pictures of her have a staff, right, or a scepter, even if I have struggled to find a frame from it, why would they give the new one if the old one didn't have it, right? Because like Evelyn used to have one, right? She used to have
Yeah,
the one that kind of looked like an ankh, right, with the big
yeah,
circle at the top. So it's like, didn't she have one? Because they were all supposed to be like opposing forces to each other.
yeah. Although Tila had a staff, and she was more the opposing force for Tila, I would say, than the
Yeah, yeah.
sorcerer.
Because like most of the other actual frames that I see when like the sorceress is doing magic, it's usually just like coming directly out of her finger or her hand or whatever. But then some of the toys gave her one. That's interesting. I'm seeing some toys of the original where she has a scepter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I want.
Uh,
Another thing I can't make videos on my phone, obviously.
yeah. And then
I mean,
in the
skill
two
issue.
that in the Kevin Smith one, the older version seems to have a scepter.
How I making videos on my phone is a skill issue. I got to download a bunch of clips and edit them together.
I mean,
And
there's tons of people who do 100% of their video editing on their phone.
it's like is there like do you know how clunky that is? I got to
Yeah,
edit.
yeah.
Nobody said it was easy, especially at first.
Yeah, that's why it's a skill issue. It's like it's a skill you have to develop to be able to do it. That's the definition of a skill issue.
Uh,
Did the journal factory explode? I don't even know what that means.
Hold on.
Oh,
Probably will be right back. Hold on.
uh, I don't. You know what? I don't really
yeah, it's super
see.
easy. Get good. Exactly. That's how it goes. It's just, oh, I get what he means. Like writing in his phone, like he could have just bought a journal. I was trying to remember, like, figure out what the context of that was, and then it hit me. Yeah, that's how I used to do all my writing back in school. Eventually, I transferred it to computers, but I remember the first chapter I wrote, or the first version of the first chapter of A Chronicling of a Planet Called Mira. I wrote in one of those composition notebooks, you know, the ones that are kind of like glue bound,
Yeah. Uh,
and the chapter filled the entire notebook. Because you don't realize if you write to the size of the lines and not smaller, which I guess I could have probably fit more than that in there if I wrote like half line size. But if you write to the size of the line, since they're not college rule, you don't realize how quickly you fill up one of those things. Like it has less character space than you would consider. That's why college rule is preferred. And I don't have any of the other handwritten chapters, but I do actually still have the physical copy of the first draft of chapter one in one of my boxes. I looked at it recently. I'm never going to show it to anybody, but I have it. I almost finished your piece, Rick, but
Yeah.
while trying to finish it up, my computer ran out of video memory. So I turned
Uh,
my computer off for a while and wanted to go take a shower instead.
yeah.
I've
No
got
problem.
like, I think the gloves and the belt left, and that's it.
Oh, cool. For shading and all that, I take it you mean? Shading and lighting.
Yep, that's it. That's all I got left. I'll probably finish it sometime tonight. Not going to do it now because I'd have to leave Discord. My
Yeah.
computer's so old that like Photoshop just kind of takes up everything. It's not even just because it's Photoshop, because a lot of people are like, well, stop using Photoshop. It's any editor. I could use something that's way lower resource, like Metabang or Krita or whatever. I just can't really do anything else while I'm editing stuff.
Oh, that reminds me. You use GIMP, right? Or do you use GIMP?
I used it way back in like junior high. I haven't used it. Maybe even some of high school. I haven't used it since like 2008. I think that was the last time I used it.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have been in
okay.
high school.
The only reason I ask is my friend Ben Hoser downloaded it and is using it. So I I knew somebody had used it before or whatever, so but you're probably so out of date with it that it's not funny.
Yeah. No, you should use a better program. If you want a free editor, just go use Metabang.
Yeah, I
Just go to
knew there was a
metabang.com and
different
get it.
one, another
Hey,
one.
It's basically just
after
Manga
response,
Studio. It's the
by,
modern version of Manga Studio.
Yeah,
after response a message by an artist I'm trying to work with. So
Oh, okay.
cool. Okay, so
But yeah, I highly recommend. I'll drop it in chat too, if you want to. Though that's hard to find. I'll also DM it to you. But this is a program I highly recommend to people who are just trying to like look to get into art programs and they don't want to spend any money because there's a lot of support for it. And it's over at metabang.com. It's called Metabang Paint. It is a professional industry level program that you can use completely for free. That was made
Eh,
by one of the branch of
Clip Studio, right? Because it's very similar to it, isn't it?
previous to Clip Studio. So Clip Studio is the company that used to make Manga Studio way back in the day.
Yeah.
Some of those people, though, didn't stay with the company and they split off. Metabang has some of those people working on it. It's also made in conjunction with I'm trying to remember the top level publisher. It's called like Sunishiban or whatever. The people who own Jump, right? It's made in conjunction with them, right? They even have a version for Jump called Jump Paint, and as a free program, it has everything you need for making a manga. And the Jump Paint version even has tutorials for making a manga, but it's full color too, so you could use it for like any type of illustration or comic making.
Yeah. Does it have the multi-page thing that
I don't know about that. I have not experimented in it too much, like how Clip Studio has.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll try and remember that. I knew there was another one besides GIMP, or I was pretty sure.
Yeah, Metabang is way better than GIMP. The things
Yeah.
about GIMP is that GIMP works on like every system, right? It's got a lot of Linux support and stuff like that.
well, I mean, I
And
use GIMP. So
yeah, and it's got a lot of user support. So like you can go off and if you need something, you find like on GitHub or something, some type of like mod or attachment to GIMP to do the thing you need to do. Metabang though has basically everything you need right out of the box.
Evan said, although he's back, he says BIRB. I think he meant BRB. Be right back. I'm going to figure out who Jack D is and what he's in prison for. I think he meant prison.
I don't know. It could be put in a prism.
And then he says
We're
Jack D
telling
sucks.
people to get into the crystal.
Don't even know who that is.
I don't either.
Neither.
Not off the top of my head.
So obviously this needs work. But what do you think of my basic design?
You know, only Jack D I can think of is Jack Delaney, former heavyweight champion of boxing.
Wait, is it Jack D Films or something else? I think that's the only Jack D I think of. I forgot. I got.
Evan says, "No, I clearly said BIRB and
Burb.
Prism. Oh yeah, well I can see that. I just thought you maybe somehow had a couple typos.
No, maybe like the I stood for like immediately. Be immediately right back. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
judging him, Rick.
yeah. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just
It sounds like you're judging.
No, I was assuming. I was making an ass out of myself.
Alright.
Or was I presuming? If you presume, do you make an ass out of yourself?
Things are not going the best for me right now. In addition to that, like some of my artists seem to be a bit late because of personal real life issues. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that's every artist ever.
Yeah, that's everybody who's hired an artist. I've had that with my other artist. I'm having it with Alpha, although his real life thing is his job that pays him real money, that pays his bills.
Oh, and I knew mine was going to take forever. That's why I told Rick, is like, I'm not even going to let you pay for me until I'm basically done with it.
Yeah. So I didn't even, I know I asked you the question, but I got distracted and didn't hear your answer to the basic design. Or did you even answer?
Oh, no, it's awful.
It's awful.
I'm kidding. It's fine.
Who we combining is it Evil Lyn and Son? Who we combining?
No, they're on the screen. It's Rosalina and the Sorceress.
Yes.
You can see them.
Oh, Rosalina and the Sorceress here.
Yeah, and thematically, they're I suggested this one. They're the ones that make the most sense because they both kind of have like an observation role from like some far away building. One being Castle Grayskull, the other being an observatory in space. And they're both kind of magic related because Rosalina like twirls a wand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now apparently she's canonically Peach's sister because Miyamoto said they're going to be running with Peach's new backstory going forward in the games. He was pretty honest about it too. He's like, listen, when we made the games, we always just considered about games first. We kind of just let the story develop.
The Nintendo's like that with all of its games.
Yeah. They kind of just end up letting the story develop itself as it goes. So, but now that they're working with movies, they're trying to be a little more consistent with it, and they're just going to go with like the story the movie made.
Now, do you like the fact that she's Peach's sister, or?
Oh, I was kind of indifferent to that. When it happened, like I didn't have an exact problem with it or anything.
It seems like it's almost official that this Smash Brothers universe is happening. I mean, we still don't have a trailer for the Zelda from Sony, Zelda movie from Sony, but I would be surprised.
It a Smash Brothers universe. It's just a Nintendo verse.
But I would not be surprised if that crossed over at some point.
Maybe, though it would probably not because it's going to be live action. They might use the same actors to voice them in the.
I know exactly. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm thinking of. They have the same actors who played as Link and Zelda to voice the animated versions. And that's really what I'm thinking.
What is this? What did Evan send me?
Wait. I know that. Wait, who's cast as Ganon? Who's cast as Ganon, by the way?
I forget if they even announced that.
Tim says, for whatever. I bet Fizz hates it.
Yeah, they've only announced Zelda and Link. We've
Hates
had a
what?
glimpse of who what's her name is Impa is. So they later kind of just revealed who's playing Impa, but those are the only three people that have been cast. We don't even know who Ganon is, or if it is going to be Ganon, like what form. If it's going to be Ganondorf, Ganon, whatever, we don't know yet. None of that detail has been released.
Well, Ganondorf is just short for Ganon. No,
No,
Ganon is just short for Ganondorf.
that
So,
is not.
I mean, Ganondorf turns into a pig monster, and they call pig monster called Ganon. So,
Yes, but Ganon predates Ganondorf.
okay, but that doesn't really mean anything because they just add his full name later.
No, but that's
Like
not why
Ganon's
he's
just
named Ganon. There's actually very specific in-world reasons why his name is Ganon versus Ganondorf.
when he like the Wizzy transforms to a pig monster. We at certain point. Okay, I'm not thinking too hard about it. This game is just short for Ganondorf.
But Ganon's not short for Ganondorf.
Tim says, it's okay if it's Jozo. It's okay if it's Jozo if you hate the Nintendo verse. Take out the cartridge and blow
No, wait.
on
What do you
it.
mean? What do you mean? I don't know. I've never seen any of them. I don't know. I don't know if I hate the Nintendo verse because I've never seen any of
Oh,
them.
he just said, I
You know.
bet Fizz hates it. He didn't even let you like have an opinion on it yet.
Because I've never seen any of them. How I'm
Yeah.
gonna hate movies I've never seen them.
I don't know.
Like I hate Vox Machina, but I've actually seen the first 2 episodes of that. So this is currently on. I think it's on season 4 or something.
Okay, Ganon, canonically speaking, is a demon that was born out of the hate of the fallen Ganondorf. They are connected, reborn together, but they're technically two separate entities.
So Ganon is just a the Phantom of Ganondorf.
Well, that's also kind of complicated because when they brought Demise into the picture, all of them are the incarnation of Demise's hatred in an eternal reincarnation cycle.
Mm. I don't expect there to be any continuity with Zelda, just like any
Well,
Nintendo game for that matter.
sadly, Zelda has some of the most continuity out of all the games. It was kind of forced upon them. They were originally supposed to be disconnected fairy tales, but the fans were so hard up about it that they eventually had to cobble together a timeline. But since they did, they have been working for the most part within that timeline.
Okay, Joshua is saying the audio is kind of low. For who or what? And then Evan says, I think we can all agree the movie needs to be stretched arbitrarily into 3 parts because it's not enough for the epic that is Organa of Time.
It's Ocarina of Time.
Or Ocarina.
Yeah. Or you can say Ocarina, which is how the kind of wood flute instrument's name is actually, but everybody says Ocarina, so it's fine. It's like the accepted English way of saying that name.
And Tim says, "Can't you tell I was being sarcastic?" Oh, I figured that out, that you were probably being sarcastic.
Yeah, Joshua says all, especially me, apparently.
Well, I don't know. It's coming through pretty good on this. Maybe I'll. And you sound pretty good to me for. And your volume is all up.
Is my volume fine?
To me, it is, and it's all up in what's the name of it here in Discord.
Also, it's not going to be Ocarina of Time. That's not what the movie's going to be.
I know. Obviously.
It's probably going to pull some things from it. It's definitely going to pull a lot from the newer stuff, Breath of the Wild. They do this a lot in general.
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I had to sneeze. Where Street Fighter is going to be doing the same thing with Capcom with their movie, where they want to pull from the most recent stuff because it's the stuff that they think that the modern audience is going to be used to. I think that's not entirely a bad marketing decision, though at the same time, it would be a good opportunity to introduce people to the older stuff through it. It's really just a marketing
it's
decision
bad.
at the end of the day.
It's definitely a bad decision for comics because the lot of modern comics suck. So don't respond too well.
Yeah,
Yes, and-
it's better to pull from the older stuff for comic movies because the new stuff sucks. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. But you
Uh-huh.
were talking specifically about video games at this
Video
point.
game, yeah.
Well, I think you could apply it to most franchises in general. That I think it is it is a marketing decision, but depending on how you do it, either decision can be good. Where either you can use your new media as a way of introducing people to the old stuff they did not experience, or you could use it to pull people into the new stuff. It just depends how you do it. I think either is fine. I personally like the idea of starting over from the beginning because you can, in that version of the media, you can always set a new standard. Like you can actually set a canon for it and stuff. But that's just a personal preference. That's not inherently the right way to do it.
I want to ask, would it be a smart decision to make a Yakuza movie, or would that be a
absolutely.
bad
But they've
deal?
made one before.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, Japan. They make stuff like this all the time.
Oh,
Let's
There's
see.
a live action Yakuza movie.
Tim says, Joshua, is my mic low? Then Evan says, maybe Joshua caught pink ear from marsupial. And then Tim says, Mario Kart, the movie. Joshua says, I could turn up my volume to 100%, but I'd rather not. And then Tim says, well, that's not fair. Not all modern comics suck.
No, just Melvin.
I mean, Marvel will probably never go back to the well of comic characters they created in the '90s that no one nowadays cares about, like Sleepwalker. You're a Sleepwalker, right?
Yes.
I'll have to say that's one I'm not familiar with personally.
I've
The
heard
premise of that
that.
character, that's a Marvel comic. Yeah, he's been around in Marvel Comics since the '90s. He's had his own comic series, but no one bought it apparently. But the premise of that character is he's a teenage boy who merged together with almost stereotypical gray alien, but like human height, and a purple cloak, who invaded his dreams. He got stuck there, and now whenever the teenage boy goes to sleep, he turns into this alien, and he has a matter transmutation ray. And apparently, the alien was part of a member of Dream Police. Was a member of like Dream Police. So kind of like the opposite of Freddy Krueger or something.
Yes. Evan says, "Oh, you know what? The audio does suck. I just have really good headphones." And then Tim is, "What? What?"
From the premise I'm telling you, does that even sound like it would be interesting?
From that premise, I can see why the character did not last long.
Why?
And why I've never heard of it before.
What's the issue?
It's just the initial premise just has too much going on.
Like he falls every time he falls asleep. He turns to this alien who was a member of Dream Police. Who's merged with him now.
Yeah, but then like you have to explain the Dream Police, and like there's just a lot going on. And any time that you have some type of story that's like that convoluted, it's not that you can't do it. It just means that the skill threshold of pulling it off is higher.
Yeah, he had a villain called Cobweb, who's basically made of webs, or like he's some demonic entity. Like it looks that's like made of webs. Lots of dumb stuff. Yeah, he fought a villain called 8 Ball, who had a magic 8 ball for a face. Well, for a helmet, as a mask. Well, like,
Tim says yes, but that character did not last long, and then he says to Metal, Melvin rules, Metal, and you know it.
Oh yeah, well, Tim knows that I just pick on him.
mm,
I'm
mm,
I'm I'm one of Melvin's biggest supporters. I share it every time he has like a new link or whatever. If I see it, I don't see a lot of his
mm.
tweets, but if I see the leak, I share it every single time. I've shared it in our Discord several times too. I've had him on to promote his comic.
Like, yeah, it's a bit too convoluted. So then again, the Slack also
Again, it's just not a problem. It's not a problem to be convoluted, but it does mean that the skill threshold for pulling it off in a way that keeps people interested is higher.
mm,
And a lot of people, a lot of writers are overambitious to what their actual writing ability is. Their issue hits, and people just lose interest in what they're writing.
mm,
And maybe you save ideas for that after you build up more skill.
mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Especially like if you're starting off, right? The less explaining you have to do at the beginning of a comic or a story or whatever, the better. The more people can just enjoy it, like just right there. The whole premise, just like right out of the box, issue 1, the better they can jump in. And then you can explain the more complicated stuff later too. Like you can
I want to
introduce
ask,
complicated things.
is the premise of half a Goofanoid too complicated or what?
Probably not. I don't think it is.
Because it's teenage some guy, his father, some like 17-year-old, his father gets kidnapped by kid get kidnapped and by criminals, and then he then he's just like a clown. Then this guy goes around just like a clown with fighting crime criminals with prank game gadgets.
Yeah, like I don't think that's too complex, right? Like the motivation's pretty simple. You don't really need to explain why somebody decides to dress like a clown or whatever to do what they're doing, right? It's like, in fact, I think Batman got worse when they tried to explain why Bruce Wayne dressed like a bat specifically. Like, oh, we have to put bats under Wayne Manor and scare him with bats as a kid or whatever. It's like, bats are kind of just creepy if you don't know them. They're great animals, especially if they're treated to not spread rabies. But like for a lot of people, they're strange looking. They're creepy on their own, and he's trying to scare criminals. You don't need to explain why he dresses like a bat.
Yeah, well, they did. Well, they didn't need to add to it because it was explained. I think almost from the beginning. Criminals are a coward and superstitious lot.
Yeah, superstitious lot.
So dressing as a bat is
that's
scary.
actually several years into Batman. That's not even said at the very beginning.
Okay.
But it works. Like if you want to put a minimum explanation, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need much more than that. You don't need to make it that.
Yeah, but I need to, but in order to make the first issue Goofy, I need to build up much more wealth because no one's gonna help fund this because no one would care about it on outset.
Yeah,
even if I commission
there is a rule of thumb for everything that works really well when you're starting off. You can make things more complicated later, more complex when you get more skill.
Yeah, but
every
even
time
if
you
I
start
made
off, it's the keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Even if I made like a three issue mini comic, that's still probably not be enough to gauge interest.
Well, I think the main thing is you need to start building an audience, and like me.
I am building an audience through my pen name or something else. There isn't this because I just need.
You're thinking about it wrong. Trying to like build interest that way. You need to be able to do just like a short kind of one shot that's in the middle of the time, like something that could just happen. You don't have to have it connected to the story, just like an event or whatever.
Yeah.
And like a short ashcan, like a 16-page ashcan, cheap, black and white, right? and it just have it show off who the character is and what kind of stuff people can expect from it. That's how you gauge interest.
Okay.
Like,
Nah.
and I always say this about origins because everybody wants to start with the origin. And it's like, yeah, if you're telling like the full story, if you're building for like a trade later, it's fine to start with the origin. But if you're trying to get people's interest, the origin's not always the best place to start. And like an ashcan is the best thing to do that with, where you just have like a short little episode and be like, this is the character. Do you like this character? Cool. Now we can go back and tell you where he came from.
Well,
No, I'm probably gonna do that for Doomfist first, rather than Goofanoid.
well, you know what? I
And
say,
then-
write that 4-page, and I'm not gonna say right away. Do a 4, maybe 8-page. Write a 4 to 8-page thing of them, and I'm not sure when I can do it, so I'm not promising, like 2 weeks from now. I'm not promising a year from now. If I can, in the short time, I will get somebody cheap to draw it up. Maybe Raul might do it. I'm going to pay for Raul to do it.
Okay.
And then we will put it on one of my campaigns as an extra.
To help
Okay.
gauge interest for your projects.
Okay.
Similar to like, though, it helped you just as much as it helped Dillard because Dillard was going to share your stuff anyway, but it gave him even more reason to share it. But it kind of like with the Buckler ashcan on the Canadian Shield.
Yeah. The thing is, he drew it up. I didn't pay. The only thing I paid for that was the printing.
Yeah, this is far more effort on your end, but it's not like you haven't done stuff like this before in concept.
Yeah. And heck, for Outcast, I'm printing up, and I'm going to be printing up a ashcan for him on thing. He's doing everything else,
Yeah.
Okay, this is discussing. What's this asking? How do you deal with people? How do people deal with these ads? What ads? And then Evan's like, "Whoa, WTF, Rick?" And I was like, "I don't deal with them." And then Evan's like, "You never made me that offer for the Pirates of the Canadian." I don't think you ever showed any real interest in doing something like that.
Well, the thing is, Evan could draw Pirates of the Canadian himself. Like, he's got the ability to draw.
Yeah. Heck, I've got a little bit of ability to draw, like. It probably
I don't know if he's improved. I would say his coloring is better than his drawing, but Evan can draw. He came in third place in the X Dynamis Chaos fan art contest.
Yeah. Well, and he came in tied for first place in, the Canadian Shield fan art thing for getting a trading card made.
Oh, he says it's pronounced Canadian, like Caribbean.
Well, last time I knew, Canadian was said Canadian, not Canadian.
Yeah, but you have to think about like a pirate with a Somerset accent saying it, right? They're Pirates of the Canadian.
We are Pirates of Canada.
It's just funny that the accent we associate with pirates is literally just like a thick Somerset accent.
Well, Somerset. What's Somerset? What place is
Oh,
that?
it's one of the
Where you
islands in the British Isles. It's one of the smaller ones out there.
oh,
And it's because the actor who, I believe it was in the old Treasure Island picture, like way back, the actor who played Long John Silver had a natural Somerset accent, but it wasn't that thick. And he kind of just played more into it, like the people back at home. And now that's what we associate with pirates.
I didn't know that because I know the old pirate movies. Although
Yeah.
it's weird how nobody makes pirate movies anymore, aside from Disney and the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's it.
Yeah, and it's even been a while from that, mostly because of their
Mhm.
relationship with Johnny Depp after the Amber Heard thing.
But that in the movies and stuff fell off. Like the movies probably should have
Which
stopped
is
after 3.
weird because I kind of like them better after 3.
Like after David Jones died, I don't think there's a reason to continue. Much a reason to
I
continue.
think because my favorite's the first one. I think the first one's the best. And I think most people can agree that the first one's the best. But me, I thought Pirates of the Caribbean should have been just an anthology that follows Jack Sparrow around on his misadventures. So I
Kinda like
think
James Bond.
Yeah, like James Bond, but with a pirate captain who may or may not always even have a ship because of his misdeeds. But like, I thought 4 was better than 2 or 3. I think you could just skip 2 and 3 and go straight to 4. And you don't even have to know, like, wait, didn't Barbossa die at the end of the first one? It's fine. This type of movie, you don't even care why he came back. It makes sense. They were going to reboot it, but they quickly found out through the market response that that was not a good idea because they were going to replace Captain Jack with a woman.
I know already. I heard about that already.
Yeah.
No. Let's not talk about that franchise. It's strange that no one makes pirate movies. The pirate movies fell off well before westerns even did.
Things go through phases.
Yeah.
Like if you go
Yes, I
back,
think-
like Pirates had like a decade or so
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah. Well, what the thing is, westerns were what 50s, 60s.
Much easier to film.
They are easier to
Much
film,
easier.
that's for sure. You don't have to involve water. Water's hard
Exactly.
to film around.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but all you do have to do to film a western is just take a camera out into the desert, and that's it.
Yeah, like you could just film it in California, right there. They're all the desert space you need. You could film it in Italy, which that's why one of the reasons they call them spaghetti westerns is because they actually just went off and filmed them a lot of it in Italy.
I don't know. Like you can probably film it in Mexico. If you live in
film
Mexico.
You
Yeah,
could film
let's
in
see.
Alaska and it would still work.
Let's see.
Well, I don't know because it's kind of icy.
Yeah, most of the year, but there are some times of the year that it's not.
Yeah, and you also think like something that's a Western, a lot of people don't even realize, more recent was Tarantino's The Hateful Eight is a Western.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah. And that's entirely covered in the snow.
Let's see. Tim said, and he cured polio, and then Evan says, "It's my book, Rick. I control the pronunciation."
Am I one of the few people who actually like Disney's Lone Ranger from 2013?
No, I loved it.
I thought that was a great movie.
I thought it was great.
Actually,
I went and saw it in
I
theaters.
thought it was a great movie.
I saw it in
Yeah,
theaters.
but I think I think the main reason that movie flopped was because the awful Green Hornet movie that came out 2 years prior with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I think that probably had a lot to do with it. I've considered that myself. My favorite part of the Lone Ranger movie, like I think my favorite scene, is that they orchestrated and used the actual in-media sound effects along to it. The William Tell overture. right, on the train. Like, I think that's one of the best scenes Disney's ever shot in a live action movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought it was all
the
right.
train action scenes. These
I
were
th-
amazing. That movie, the train, yeah.
I thought it was all right. The only thing I didn't really like about it is the way they portrayed Tonto.
Why? What was the issue with Tonto?
Because that's not how he acts.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't really like that. But here's the thing, Tonto, because if you go back to the beginning of the Lone Ranger, right, which has a pulp history, Tonto's a very inconsistent character even from the beginning. So if you were gonna like mess around with any character, he was the one you had the most leeway with.
Yeah, I guess. Although I don't remember them well, I grew up watching somewhat grew up watching the original, maybe the original, black and white one, and I also watched a cartoon for the Lone Ranger as well, which was very
Yeah.
much in line with.
Didn't know.
Have you ever
Didn't know he
listened to the
wasn't
radio program?
Pardon? I knew there was a
You
radio.
ever listened to the radio program?
No.
Mm. Yeah, but I think it was that live action that Green Hornet movie they had 2 years prior with Seth Rogen that killed the Lone Ranger before it came out.
Well,
Okay.
I think there was a lot of other controversy around it too. Stuff that probably shouldn't have mattered, but the media did make a big stink about how Tonto wasn't being played by an actual Native American, even though honorably Johnny Depp was inducted into the tribe that he was playing, like as like an honorary member. But there was like a whole bunch of different stuff around it.
Now, all cowboy movies use red face. It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, but that's that's why it became a big deal.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what that wasn't really a big deal. Be a big deal to me because like all Wild West, all Western movies did that.
Yeah, but it's not about just you or me, right? It's about the fact that because there was the history around it, people were making a big stink about it.
Yeah, because now, well,
And I'm
so
not saying
much.
that was even the thing that killed it. It's just one of many factors. There was a lot of stuff about it at the time.
Yeah, even though from a quality standpoint, it's a great movie, but I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's just it actually makes me hate that Green Hornet movie more for like ruining Lone Ranger's box office success.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with it, but I think it probably still wouldn't have been a box office success even if the Green Hornet movie didn't exist.
Yeah, because that's like 2 years before. I don't think you can really
Because people's reaction was that it looks the same. Like it looks like it's going to be the same thing as that movie.
Because it's a buddy adventure, even though both series were originally. That is a kind of like a reboot of a very old franchise. Both of them used to be radio programs way back in the day. There's a lot of similarities between both programs, just in different settings.
Exactly.
Green,
I mean, I think Green Hornet cannot took place in the future of the Lone Ranger universe.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not exactly sure. Certain, yeah.
Because they were by the same writers.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're basically the same thing. The same thing, but except one is in the 1920s, and
Well, they're not.
and one is like the Wild West. Old West.
No, I wouldn't say they're the same thing because the Green Hornet's pretending to be a bad guy. The Lone Rangers never pretended to be a bad guy.
Also, there is a Green Hornet at the Lone Ranger's time because the Green Hornet is a mantle that's passed down through the family that goes generations back.
Okay, that I didn't know. I just
Yeah.
I know there was a Green Hornet serial, and then of course, the same time as Batman, the Adam West Batman, there was a Green Hornet TV show.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was Kato, and and at one point.
I agree with Tim though. Tombstone is the best Western movie of all time. You don't even put was, still is. You could go watch it. It's great. It's one of the few movies I might give a 10 out of 10 to. It's also, while there are some inaccuracies, the closest, most accurate story involving Wyatt Earp's life, because most of them are just a bunch of tall tales, but that one is fairly close to his actual historical life during that time. He had another brother that didn't show up. Some people died in places that they didn't actually die historically. But aside from like 5 or 6 changes, it's pretty close to how it happened historically.
Evan says Green Hornet might be my favorite Michael Gondry film.
I don't dislike the movie. I have some problems with it, some specific ones, but it's more of like I think the movie could have been done better, right? Like I nitpick a lot about it. I don't even hate the fact that Seth Rogen was the Green Hornet, because the fact that
They made Seth Rogen incompetent.
yeah,
That's Green
and
Hornet.
rising to the competence and stuff could have been a good thing. Like the fact that it is a mantle that's been passed on generationally for many generations. Every so often, you could run into somebody in the family that's like that. It's not the decision that they made to do that. It's all the smaller decisions in the process that they made of how to handle it.
Like they made Kato super competent at everything, and not just fighting. They made him good at gadgets, making gadgets too. Like he really is. He really does everything the Green Hornet should be doing.
Yeah.
Like he's more worthy of the title than Seth Rogen's character is, even though he's supposed to be the actual Green Hornet. Like that's just dumb.
Yeah, Kid's
almost
just
like-
supposed to be like strictly the fighting side of things, like the
Exactly.
combat.
Exactly, but they made Kato do basically the whole team, carry the whole thing. And that's the joke.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be a comedy. Yeah.
it's just it's kind of like the issue of like the Han Solo movie where you're hoping he becomes Han Solo by the end and then he just doesn't, right? Like I wouldn't have a problem if throughout the movie he actually rose to eventually becoming the Green Hornet. He just really doesn't is the issue.
I know, but the Lone Ranger he definitely does. It definitely does. Rise.
Oh yeah, the Lone Ranger's
But the. Wait. Who do you think is a better character, Kato or Wong?
Which Wong?
The Wong from Doctor Strange, the original comic.
Okay, that's the one that I thought you were talking about, but I had to make sure.
That's
Where my
the
brain went,
that's the
but
Wong
Wong
one.
is such a common name that it could have been anyone.
That's the Wong character.
Kato. I think Kato's a better character. That's a personal thing. I can't explain why. He just feels like a better character to me.
But Rick say, what do you mean that's the wrong character? Wong, yeah,
He was
Wong
making
is
a
Doctor Strange's sidekick.
pun.
Chinese.
He said that's the Wong character.
Oh, well, okay. Oh,
It's Rick. You should assume he's trying to make a pun.
okay.
Thank you, Metal.
Yeah, I was trying.
Okay, back to what you were saying, Metal.
I don't even remember saying. I think all I was saying was like I can't explain why I think Kato is a better character. He just feels like a better character to me. Probably he's more limited use, right? There's been more opportunity to have worse incarnations of Wong, while there hasn't been as many incarnations of Kato.
Yeah, especially the MCU version of Wong. I mean, God, that was the MCU Wong is just not good. I was shocked. I was shocked when I first saw Wong in the Doctor Strange movie. Well, literally the entire supporting cast except for Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange himself. Literally when I first saw the movie, I was like, it wasn't in theaters. It was from piracy. I was like, wait, that's the ancient one? Wait, that's Wong?
I went to theaters to watch Doctor Strange.
Wong wasn't the ancient one in that.
No. We want no. Wait, no. I know the two separate characters, but like Wong.
Yeah, he was basically having the same response to both of them. Like he saw the ancient one, that's the ancient one. He saw Wong, that's Wong. Like he kept having.
Like, why is Wong out of shape? Wong's supposed to be a martial artist. Like what? But martial artist butler. What the hell?
Yeah, you're expecting to see like somebody who's like a really in shape, athletic, like Shaolin monk kind of guy.
Exactly. And Wong's not a wizard in the comics. He's just a kung fu butler. Well, who primarily?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him having like
fighting.
a general understanding of like how the magic works. It's just not supposed to be something he's doing.
I know. He's supposed to be be the punching guy, the melee fighter, while Doctor Strange in the back casting spells. Well, he's supposed to that's the whole dynamic.
Like, I wouldn't mind a joke where it's like, if somebody else needed something and like Wong sat there and explained exactly how the magic works. It's like, well, why don't you open the portal? He's like, oh, sorry, that's not my thing. Like, that would be a fun joke, you know? Like, he understands exactly how it works. He's like, oh, but I don't do that. And that would be in character for like classic Wong to have a joke like that too.
Yeah, but they did Doctor Strange dirty in that film.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I went to see it in the theaters though, because we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. There was very few like leaks and press releases. The only thing we knew that they changed, which was the big stink, was Tilda Swinton being the Ancient One, which you're like, But aside from that, like a lot of us were excited because it's like, you know, I like Strange. I think of classic Marvel comics, it was one of the stronger titles, you know, like one of the ones that was written the best at that time. Very wordy for an old comic, but I thought it was really strong. So, and a lot of people don't like Strange. So it's like, oh, maybe we'll get a lot of people to finally like Doctor Strange. And then, you know, it was fun, but disappointing at the same time.
Yeah, they neutered a lot of characters. Like they made I didn't even know the black dude was supposed to be Baron Mordo when I first watched that film because he doesn't act anything like Mordo. No, nor does he look anything like Mordo actually. Doesn't look or act anything like the character.
It did like Dormammu's portrayal was just
same with
Dormammu.
Dormammu, like Dormammu. Like Dormammu was supposed to be a giant with his head on fire. He's not supposed to be just a face and a face made of shadow.
A fractal face, yeah.
Like none of the characters outside of Doctor Strange stuff are anything like they were supposed to be.
Like a mean person, but also has a little bit of like a trickster personality. So it would have been really cool that like the way Strange solved it with the time reset and getting on Dormammu's nerves. I don't have a problem with that concept, but like they could have played more with Dormammu, right? Like he could have changed his size in his realm. He could have done so many different things to Strange in the process. But even eventually he would get bored and tired of doing the same thing eternally. Like the concept was fine. The execution was just disappointing.
No, I know. Like none of the characters like how they're supposed to be. Even the human puppet agent they used for Dormammu was supposed to be a character from the comics. I forgot his name.
Oh, I don't remember his name either. I know the character, but I don't remember his name.
They play Chase personality.
Is like you expect Dormammu, who is the lord of his own realm, but he is still subservient to another higher power, is supposed to be setting up for like a Shumagorath type of situation.
But they used Shumagorath. They wasted Shumagorath at the start of the
thing is they didn't actually use him, right? They were going to. That's why they had the model. But it's like, well, we can't use Shumagorath like this. So they gave it a completely different name in context in the Multiverse of Madness. Like it was the whole problem. It was like it was originally going to be a Shumagorath movie in the first script.
But they made the whole thing about Scarlet Witch. So
yeah, they changed the script twice.
Is that the star guy? The star thing?
It's the big eye with the tentacles who runs his own world as well.
No, but the thing
Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, so
but the thing,
it's like a starfish. It looks a lot like
no.
If you squint,
it's literally an eye with legs.
I could see where he's thinking that. He looks more like an octopus, but like the whole head is an eye instead. But yeah, if you squint, you can see some similarities between him and Starro. Like if you like almost close your eyes.
But no, not really. It's not even that similar. I mean, the only
see somebody who needs glasses, maybe, seeing him a few times through the top.
Even turns the characterization like that. They're not that similar. Outside the fact they're both weird monsters who will have to be intelligent villains.
Yeah.
What I forget. What's it? Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
It's not really
but
starfish. They're like tentacles that come out of like an eyeball.
cephalopods. I know, like
yeah,
a
It's
cephalopod
kind
with
of
a
similar,
whole
yeah,
head
very
eyeball.
somewhat cephalopody. Yeah.
But the movies were not interested in using any of the Doctor Strange lore or anything like that. You can tell
It's too many
this is why they
cooks.
changed everything.
That was the problem, right? Especially Multiverse of Madness, by far the worst Marvel movie I've ever seen, which is
Well, I never
unfortunate because
I
Sam
never
Raimi's
seen
head was
Multiverse
on
of
it.
Madness. The thing, man, I never seen him. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in 7 years since Endgame.
That's
So I
fine.
never seen.
I've
I
seen
never
it, so
seen
I can talk
Multiverse.
about it. I can tell you how bad it is because I've seen it. I saw that one at home because my family was watching it, and I thought that was even worse than when they physically dragged me to the theater to go see Thor: Love and Thunder. I thought Multiverse of Madness was worse than Thor: Love and Thunder
I
after
only
watching
saw
it.
the very start of Love and Thunder when it came on TV, and then I told my mom to change the channel.
Yeah. And the problem is, if you look up the production, you can see where the issues are. The original scriptwriter basically kind of bailed on them. So, like, 3 months before the movie, they had to start writing a new script. And then by the time they got to filming the movie, they threw out the script that they rewrote in 3 months and basically rewrote it on the fly while they were shooting it.
Yeah, the
And
MCU
part
was a
of that
disaster now.
was because once they had access to Wanda, they're like, oh, well, we want to use Wanda as our villain. She wasn't originally supposed
Yeah,
to be the villain. They knew that she was going to be maybe in the movie. Maybe they were going to put like a redemption arc for her after the whole WandaVision using some of the House of M stuff. But they're like, oh, well, we want to take her for ourselves. We want to have her as a villain. The problem is a lot of the production staff in most of these movies, and this is why everything's a mess right now, are very selfish. And if they get access to something, they don't even care if it messes up what other people are going to do.
mm,
Kind of like the
yeah,
comics, actually.
yeah. But like I would, but the problem is we can't. You can't say it because this is tied to Marvel. Like I wish there was a good Doctor Strange TV show or something, but we'll never get nothing like that.
Oh yeah, like if like the people who did the first season of Daredevil for Netflix did like a Doctor Strange show and had the budget to actually do the magic.
No, well, you don't really need that much of a budget, but that much of a budget. You just do Supernatural, except there's this wizard guy running around.
Yeah, but Supernatural already had more of a budget than the Daredevil TV show did.
Okay,
Of course, with
But-
Supernatural, that wasn't at first, right? Like the budget increased with that show over time as it became more popular. Like it had 15 years.
but like yeah, no, but like but just have like a low budget TV show like Supernatural, and then just have a
Yeah, but
wizard
the
be the main
budget Charmed
character.
had, right? Because you could have the same level of effects that Charmed had.
Now, yeah, same level effects Charm had, and just have an episodic adventures of
Which I
like
love
not do a
Charmed.
story,
Charmed was a great show.
not do a story arc. Just have episodic adventures of a wizard guy, and he fights monsters every episode.
You ever
Evan
watched
said,
Charmed, Rick?
I've seen clips of it. My friends watched it. I really wasn't into it. So I've
I think
probably
I've like
seen a
seen an
couple
episode a
of,
long time ago. I forgot about it.
I might have seen a few episodes at their place. Evan says, Rick, I forbid your guests bad mouthing Rachel McAdams films. Kick 'em and ban 'em and cut your hair, hippie.
I mean, Rachel McAdams was good in the first one. I can't actually say so much in the second, but I blame everything from the second one on the directing, not the actual cast.
But can anyone here imagine a Doctor Strange TV show that's done like similar to like Charmed or Supernatural, where every episode he's fighting a different monster or a different villain from the comics?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
But that's also because I've seen
uh,
every single episode of Charm, so I could imagine any magical show like that.
Yeah,
and
I know it's not quite the
Danny-
same, but there's, Sabrina too, so there was lots of magic.
No,
in
no,
it.
Yeah,
no.
like the sitcom. I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's
like imagine like a man something like Supernatural, but the main characters is with like this.
yeah, but that's
Uh,
the reason I bring up Charmed is because Charmed is an action show. There's drama to it because its main characters are women, but it's an action show. So, like you would compare it on like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And Evan asks, the Prue years or the post Prue years? it was stronger at the beginning. The Prue years are the best part of Charmed. For the people who don't know that one of the sisters' name was Prudence, Prue for short. She died at a certain point in the show because they wanted to let go of Sharon Doherty, right? Um, and she got replaced later with oh my god, what's her name? I'm trying
And
to remember the actress. She was in Monkey Bone. She's insufferable. Though she was hot in Monkey Bone. She was in the movie Grindhouse. God, I cannot remember that actress's name for some reason. But anyway, she ended up getting replaced with a different sister they didn't know they had. And the show was still pretty good, but that's about the time where it started going off the rails, and then it continued for like another half decade after that. Rose McGowan, thank you. I could not remember her name for some reason.
But
so
also one thing I've been trying to figure out
And she played
recently is
Paige.
recently probably this year or something, later on this year. I was planning to. I'm going to have commission somebody to make a song, make like an instrumental song.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what like I want to do like a parody fancy theme song, like a fancy theme song, like something similar to like Harry Potter or something. But I'm like,
Okay. Do you know how to
but
write
I'm like,
music? Like, do you have that talent? Or are you going to learn?
no, I was gonna ask what to add, what should fit the show I want to make.
Mm.
And I'm trying to figure out what genre will fit it. Like I just commission a musician to make a song. I'm like,
Oh, okay,
what?
that's
Like,
fair.
I
Yeah.
know some music people. I can get in contact with it, but I'm just like, what song should I want? Like, should I want like a Harry Potter or do something like Lord of the Rings? I'm confused. Like, what should it sound like? What's the genre?
Oh. Probably closer to Harry Potter, I think, with what you're trying to
Mm,
do. Right? You don't want necessarily like epic fantasy. You want something that's more like
mm,
whimsical, magical, right?
exactly.
Like Lord of the Rings has a lot of action. You're gonna go on a journey, but like
Mm,
Harry Potter's theme makes you feel like you're gonna go for a ride, right?
mm. Okay, yeah, I know,
Um,
I know exactly. But is are there any themes, the fan shows that theme songs similar to like Harry Potter or something?
let me think about that.
'Cause I was listening. 'Cause I remember one day I was listening to like a bunch of different theme songs, different fantasy shows, and none of them sound like what I want.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my because a lot of that stuff you usually only really hear in movies
Mm,
in
yeah,
general.
because yeah, like right now I'm literally imagining the Harry Potter theme song. So I'm like,
Yeah, because completely different vibe. But like one of the only shows that I can think of that has a theme song that's like appropriate to the vibe of the show for
mm,
that is like Gravity Falls.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Or like, but this is straight comedy, very very different type of show, I guess. But the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy theme song also really fits the vibe of what they're going for. A lot of shows just don't though. Like a lot of their
Mm.
theme songs just do not really fit the vibe of the show.
I
It's
know,
just something
I know,
fun to
like
catch people's attention.
I know, like I listened to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer theme song,
You know,
like the like that doesn't seem quite like it fits.
yeah, like
Uh,
and Charmed has like this really weird cover of these myths. How soon is now? That's just not as good as the original song. I'm like, why didn't you just
I
get the
know.
license
I
to the
probably
actual
listened to
song?
that song too. It doesn't seem quite like it fits.
Because the original song is so great. I don't know. It's such a weird choice. Coming soon, Melvin number 4. And soon after that, Melvin Volume 1, R1219.
Oh, hold on.
What is R11219? Tim.
I don't know, maybe it's some retail number.
Yeah, I'm back. But like I did not want when Thor Love and Thunder came on my TV one point. I didn't even like. I told my mom change the channel. I didn't even buy us to watch that.
Yeah.
Like we stuck at the beginning where Gore. We were stuck at the beginning with Kristen Bale playing Gore was talking to this other guy. I'm like, I told her to
I
change
had
channel.
to watch that in theaters because my cousin and aunt were in town, so it's like the only time that I saw them in like a decade. And it was like socially obligated to go. Otherwise, if it was just like my normal family, I'd be like, no, I'm not going. Can't make me.
But like, what happened in that movie after that point? Like, I don't know. All I saw was Christian Bale, Christian Bale, and white makeup.
Which is sad. Like, there were some genuinely cool parts in that movie, but collectively, there may be 10 minutes of the movie, and you have to sit through the rest of the like nonsense to even see it. Like, they do this. They go to the dark planet where like everything is black and white and stuff, and the way that's handled is great. It's actually cinematically really good. It even fits what they were trying to do with the story at the moment. But it's like this is one of very few things that's even in the movie. It's not even worth watching the movie.
Tim says it's a reference to my favorite Bible verse, Romans 12:19.
But yeah, but I don't expect much quality from the Thor films anyway. I mean, the Thor: The Dark World was awful. Now I remember when I saw that was awful. No, on TV ones. That. I mean, did you know they completely changed Malekith from the source material? Because Malekith is not like that in the comics at all.
No, I know.
It's like they made him this lifeless villain that you don't even really think about after watching it. Like I don't even understand why he needed to make the world into dark matter. Like I don't even understand what was the point of that. Like it just didn't make any sense.
What
like
they were doing.
He doesn't even have really a motivation. Like what the goals do turn the universe into some other form of matter. I don't get it. What's the benefit of doing this? I don't even understand his character.
So he can live in
like
the universe better? To make everybody else suffer like he had
it's like
to?
He made him it's like it made him a lamer, less lamer version of Skeletor of no charisma at all. Well, like lame version of Voldemort or something. Like they made him into Voldemort. Well, a lame Voldemort with no charisma at all, and then no sense to his motivation.
Anyways,
it has nothing to do with how he was in the comic.
Evan would like to know if you, Metal, are taking movie recommendations for your movie review podcasts.
Well, I haven't done really any podcast since my co-host quit it. So unless you want to come on and talk about a movie, I would have to say that's probably a no. But if the movie's fun, I might take the recommendation to watch anyway. Evan usually has some really good or like fun recommendations. Right, we were talking about westerns earlier, and I think it was through Evan that I found out. Maybe it was either Evan or Dillard, one of them, but they were both talking about it at the same time. Was Bone Tomahawk, which is a great movie.
Yeah, and then of course through me recently, you found out about the old Donkey Kong cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I remember that from the 90s.
No,
CGI one?
Not that one. The 80s Donkey Kong cartoon.
Oh, didn't know there was an 80s one.
I didn't either. I knew it had an episode on Saturday Supercade. When we were looking into this, apparently this was a spinoff of the Saturday Supercade episode that got its own series. So I just didn't know it got a spinoff. Evan says, I'll talk movies with you. Yeah, you chat with me. We'll work it out.
Yeah. Well, like I heard they're doing a new Pac-Man cartoon, which
Oh, yeah.
I know there was
that's
one
pretty
back in
fun.
the 80s.
It's the third Pac-Man cartoon that I know of.
I know because I saw when I was a kid, I saw Ghostly Adventures, which you had like these magic berries, and each one gives him a different power.
Yeah, it was weird because they made Pac-Man a little more like Mega Man in that, and they made him a teenager. He was Pac-Kid
know.
instead of Pac-Man. It was.
I know. But they made him more like Mega Man. He gets a different power every time he eats a different berry.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen not the whole thing, but I've seen. I don't know, probably like 12 episodes of it.
They made also Inky, Binky, Pinky, and Clyde all into moles. Like no, not literally moles. I mean, like they made them into like double agents, all of them.
Yeah. The old cartoon though, I used to. I've probably seen every episode of that one, but I don't remember much of it. I do, on the other hand, remember the Christmas special because I have that on VHS, and we watched that every year while we still had it. So one of the weirdest things to watch a Christmas special, I was like, why am I watching a Pac-Man Christmas special? But I watched it. I ate it up. Used to watch it back to back with, oddly, I don't know why we put these two together. One of the VeggieTales Christmas specials with like the little wooden drummer boy one in it. And I was like, well, this is at least a lot more appropriate for a Christmas special. VeggieTales is all about like the Bible and stuff.
I know.
Yeah, lots of things got Christmas specials at one point. They weren't always about.
And
everything
secularized.
Everything is Christmas special. Like that's how it was at that time. They were like everything got Christmas special, even stuff that has nothing to do with faith at all.
Oh, I hate the fact that the Flintstones have Christmas specials.
I know that makes no sense because Jesus wasn't born yet.
Yep. And there's no St. Nicholas until after that either. So it's like, why is Santa Claus in the weird world of Flintstones? Now, obviously, Flintstones is a themed, like, satire.
I know it's just the 60s, but just 60s, but they replaced all electronics with dinosaurs.
It's the Honeymooners, but with dinosaurs.
It's the Honeymooners. It's really the dinosaurs. It's literally just the Honeymooners, but they replaced all the electronics dinosaurs.
So we have to kind of like just delete all normal logic when it comes to the Flintstones. But the fact, because cavemen and dinosaurs didn't even live at the same time as each other. But despite all of that, it still makes absolutely no sense why there's a Christmas special for the Flintstones.
I know. Because it was literally just the Honeymooners. I know that. I heard the story about how the Flintstones got made.
Yeah. Jackie Gleason did the voice for Fred, who was, the lead of the Honeymooners.
Yep. And then Mel filled in for Barney. This is probably my favorite voice that Mel Blanc ever did was Barney Rubble. He did so many voices. I think that one's my favorite. Especially the laugh. I think that's the Rubbles in general. Both of them have just endearing laughs separately, both Barney and Betty. But I absolutely love the Flintstones. One of the best animated things ever on TV. I would put it up there. Might even be the best. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. But it's definitely top 10. Should not have had Christmas specials.
Yeah.
Or
You
if
know,
anything,
how you
they
felt with the
could have
live
just
action movie? by the way?
played. Oh, well, I'll get back to that in 1 second. If anything, they could have still had specials if they played even more into the themes, right? Like instead of making it Christmas, they could have just invented a completely different holiday that was entirely like dinosaur themed or whatever, with like their own. Like they could have done that for all of them. They could have had a Thanksgiving special that with their own completely made up holiday. That would have been a lot more fun. I don't know why they didn't do them. But to answer, I absolutely love the 1990s Flintstone movie with like John Goodman and
I like the movie too.
Rick Moranis. I think it's great. I think it's
Rick
probably one
Moranis,
of
he
the
was great. He was
best.
great. He was Barney in that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Rick
Rick,
Moranis
Yeah,
was
you said
Barney.
that.
Rick Evans like, figure out my Discord username and password and get back to me. Well, your password I probably can't help you with. Discord name I might be able to help you with.
Yeah, as long as you're still in there. Like if you're in the server, we can look up the username.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I think it's easily one of the best live action adaptations of any cartoon or animation in general, because it really respected what it was doing, right? Like they made it fun for all ages. They even, the original had it too. Innuendo was such a common thing in old cartoons, but they they left some stuff in that the adults could enjoy.
And they had Halle Berry as a secretary. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I
Stone.
remember. I saw that movie.
But like it respected what the Flintstones was, and I think that's why it's good. I even like Viva Rock Vegas. It's not as good, but
No, of
it
course
had
not.
lower budget, so the quality was gonna be lower. But it did quite a few cool things with it. Like I liked that it brought in the Great
Great
Gazoo.
Gazoo.
I think that was great. There was a lot of really cool things. I even thought the cast was fine for what it was. It just, obviously wasn't as good as the other one.
Yeah, what name
No,
was he using?
Back
What
then,
name? I don't see any of the Evans in here. But no, what was
might
his
have nuked
most
it all. Yeah.
who after Evan? What was the one who was using?
Oh, do we want to associate those together? Is he cool with that?
Yeah.
Speaking of properties
Are you
involving Rick
talking
Moranis.
about the guy who's very, very similar to Evan that goes by Goodnight Spoon?
Yeah.
Now, but speaking of properties involving Rick Moranis, I still haven't watched any episode of the old Honey I Shrunk the Kids show from the late '90s.
Good for you.
The late '90s that apparently just kind of turned the premise to Family Matters. Like instead of
I don't think that is how I would describe it at all. But
instead of being about just having the shrinking room machine, it's a wacky sci-fi versus every episode, kind of like a different thing, kind of like Family Matters.
I wouldn't call it like Family Matters though. I mean, there's tons of other sitcoms I would probably relate it to more than Family Matters, but especially contemporaries to the time that it was running. But it was about the misadventures of almost like a proto Jimmy Neutron before Jimmy Neutron happened, because it was about the whole family. But it would happen. Well, I thought it happened like it started before Jimmy Neutron started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, except Jimmy Neutron's dad instead of the son. That's it.
Yeah, they like kind of swapped it. But basically, what would happen is like Wayne Szalinski would come up with some invention that would have something, because he was working at a place where he was inventing things for it, and he would come up with some invention, and that would be kind of like the crux of the whole episode. And you'd see maybe the whole family would be involved. Sometimes it was just like one or two members of it, but it would be all about like, how is this affecting the lives of the family? What went wrong? How do they solve the problem? Which is very much also how like every episode of Jimmy Neutron kind of went.
I know, it's literally just the same format as Jimmy Neutron. I know. Oh,
But even
but
like
by the way, I
talking
had
about before it, I would say it's probably closer to the show Smart Guy than it is to Family Matters.
what Smart Guy? I never even heard of Smart Guy.
Oh, Smart Guy? Oh, when did that start? That
I
was
think that
another like Disney thing.
I think that was the 90s. It was about a kid
I think
that
it was
was
'97. Yeah.
a kid that was super smart, and he was like 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah, there was Taj Mowry, who was the younger brother of the Mowry sisters, like Tia and Tamara. So he got a show too. Everybody got a show.
You get a show.
I
You
still
get a
haven't
show.
seen.
You get a show.
I still haven't seen this episode. But I heard Steve Urkel went back in time and met the cast of dinosaurs.
I don't remember that, but at the same time, I would believe that's true.
Yeah, same here.
So it's like, yeah, it's funny how shows start out called Family Matters. It's supposed to be like something similar to the Cosby Show, but it just became something else entirely when Steve Urkel was introduced.
Well, when they introduced him, he just became the most popular character, so he kind of took over the show.
And now he's just building robots that stop robberies and stuff.
Like viewers were calling in to talk about him.
Yeah, that really wasn't what the show was about. Him making robots to stop things. Yeah, they had the occasional.
No, that just
thing.
happened.
It was more he was wanting to date Thing, and that wasn't even what it was really all about either. Trying to date Laura. It was just
it's a show that kind of just evolved based on like the viewership's whimsy at the time.
I know I should have given her the wings, and I forgot to. But what do you think?
No, she doesn't need the wings. I think because you're trying to blend the two. I think she's fine without the wings. Because if you do put the wings, it might get even further away from being a blend with Rosalina.
Okay. But obviously, I need to tighten up the colors and all that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Of my blend?
I think overall it's fine. I think you can kind of tell that it's supposed to have aspects of both characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I want to ask: have you seen a character? Have you ever seen a character that on the surface appears like the Fonz, but in actuality he's a psychopath? Underneath it all.
Maybe, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I've seen so many characters, I can't remember all of them.
I don't think so myself.
What was it?
Why? Are
Okay,
you trying to do something like that?
Yes. Yes. That.
Jeez, I wonder how you guess, Metal.
Yeah.
Like at first glance, he seems like the Fonz, but on its underneath surface, he's kind of an asshole. He's kind of like an off person. We really think about it.
I mean, because like the Fonz himself is kind of accidentally because he's a well-meaning guy, right? But he has to live life by his own rules. That's the only way he works, and that's one of the reasons why people find him so cool. But he does step on people's toes a lot, and when he does, he apologizes for it.
Yeah.
But even that, like the Fonz is supposed to be almost like a subversion himself, because if you saw somebody who was dressed like him and acting like him, you expect him to be a jerk. Like a lot of greasers are borderline like they're gang members, right? But this guy, he's just like a cool guy.
Yeah, and even when they first introduced him, he was a bit of a jerk. He softened over the years. He grew up a little.
He ultimately became a good big brother, but he wasn't at first.
Yeah.
He was even better when he came back, because like, he disappeared for a little bit, right? He went off. He came back, he had get a shave and everything, and like he became a much more supportive character at that point too. because it's like, oh, now he's one of the adult characters at this point, so he's got to be like a role model to people.
Yeah, especially when he became, very popular of a character. They didn't want a popular character like that, especially back then, being negatively impacting kids and all that. Like I remember back then, I loved the Fonz and I, wanted to emulate them. I would do the "Eee" all the time.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
But yeah, when
yeah,
he first came out, he was
Fonz
definitely the
can
type of person that if you stepped on his toes, he might hold you up against the locker.
Fonz can actually just can make things happen with by just snapping his fingers.
Yeah. Like he could just fix electronics by like snapping the finger and then banging on it. Like it's just a magic power he has. But that's like traditional sitcom stuff, right? Like if you think about a sitcom, characters play roles, right? So very often they might have something that is equivalent to like a superpower or a special ability that is just kind of tied to who they are as a character. And the Fonz was one of them. He could just make things work.
Yeah, he was just so cool.
Like what other show did that?
Another good one, if you think about it, is Saved by the Bell, right? Like Zach had the ability to actually stop time, and you think at first it's just him stopping time from the narrative because he's telling the story to you. But there are several times where before he timed back in, he actually changed the scene and everybody reacted to it too. So he actually had the power to just time out.
Yeah. Billy from
I'm trying to remember
Stranger
what was
Things,
Chris
right?
Lloyd's character from Taxi's name. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. I never really watched Taxi. My
Yeah,
mom didn't.
his character was kind of like a weird, like loaf or whatever, like almost like a burnout. He seemed very unreliable, but like because of that, if it was comedic, he would just like know things or be able to do something that you wouldn't expect him to be able to do. That was kind of like his power, and he didn't actually know. Like there was like a scene where somebody was like asking all these questions, like who's supposed to know this, and he's just like answering them pretty closely, not exact, but pretty closely enough that you would believe it. And he's like, "Oh wait, I was right." But this happened on multiple occasions in Taxi.
No, I've never seen Taxi. I don't even know what show you're talking about.
Taxi's hilarious. It's about a taxi company.
Yeah,
That's all it is. It's
I believe it
it's
was
like Chris
either
Lloyd's like first role.
70s. I think it
Was who
started.
first role?
Christopher Lloyd's first role. It
Christopher
might be.
Lloyd.
I watched reruns of it, so I wasn't around when it started, but
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think I might have been around, but I was
78.
young. And I think it went into the 80s a little bit.
Yeah. It ran for several seasons, like 5. So
Yeah.
and Danny DeVito was in it, Andy Kaufman, Tony Danza, Judd Hirsch,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of great people when they were
Yeah.
all young.
Yeah.
One of the funniest shows on TV. I didn't even notice Evan's been typing in a bunch of shows. Ghost Rider, watched it. Wishbone, watched it. Did not watch Shining Time Station. Just naming a bunch of things, yeah. Wishbone is a weird show because it was about a dog, which made it endearing to kids. That's why you watched it. But it was about a dog who got involved in like classic stories, like Wishbone would be Sherlock Holmes or whatever.
Yeah.
Very, very weird show when you think about it. Definitely the type of show kids would like. I liked it as a kid, but like on reviewing or thinking about it, very weird show. Ghost Rider was a fun show though.
Wait, Ghost Rider or Ghost Rider, like the Marvel comic?
Writer, like the job of Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider. What was that about?
Yeah, so it was about like a group of kids who would get involved in like mysteries and stuff like that, and they would write down the story. So that was kind of like the thing. Like at the end of the episode, they would write down the story that would happen. And there was a ghost. It had like a specific shape. It wasn't like a humanoid ghost or whatever. It was like a spirit that was flying around, little orb thing that would help lead them in the direction of the plot and everything. Including, they had a horror story once that was pretty famous, I guess, around the time that I was a kid. It would re-air around Halloween and everything. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Was it like Gooey Gumps or whatever? It was a very almost like Child's Play style horror story because the dude was like a doll, but like eventually he grew to like human size. It was a very disgusting thing. But like Ghost Rider was a very fun show.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't doesn't that sound similar to the D&D cartoon, but
This is live
like
action.
live action? But it's live action.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
That sounds
it
like
took
very
place in their
similar.
town. It was like in San Francisco or something.
Oh, yeah, because it sounds very similar to like the DM from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Like it's like the same formula.
No.
It was a 1992 series.
Like it feels like the exact
It was
same
all like
formula.
neighborhood crimes and mysteries. Oh, it was New York, not San Francisco.
Oh.
It's been a while since I watched it. I couldn't remember. Some of the areas looked similar because they were off in like in the Bronx or whatever, like where the actual houses and everything are. They weren't in the area with like the skyscrapers.
Yeah, they weren't in the.
But yeah, there was like
downtown.
neighborhood crimes and mysteries. Yeah, they weren't like they weren't even like Hell's Kitchen or anything. They were off in like the actual fairly almost suburban area.
Yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah.
specifically. Yeah, that's where they were. They were
I
in
was
Brooklyn.
gonna say it was probably even around their school or whatever. A lot of the mysteries.
I thought Wishbone was solving murder mysteries every episode. I mean, he ended up solving mysteries and stuff, but Wishbone was pretty much tied to like book stories. Now that was like the main thing about it.
Yeah. I understand what it is now. You have a dog, and you put him in the role of whatever storybook protagonist. Sounds like a perfect show for like little kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like if you watch as an adult, you're like, this is a very ridiculous idea. But you know, the thing is, kids love ridiculous ideas. So you kind of need to jump into that territory if you want to make something that's like different from everything else.
They had I had heard. I know there was a lot of horror, a lot of weird horror anthologies back before I was born. Like not anthologies, like different episodic horror shows, like the Friday the
to be an
13th show.
anthology, right?
No, like no, like Friday the 13th show. Like for example, I heard there was another show called Don't Be Afraid of Dark.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which is
Afraid of
technically an anthology because the anthology is told through a group of kids called the Midnight Society, where they meet together and they tell each other scary stories that they submit to the Midnight Society. And every single story that they told is a fictional story in their world, but it's sometimes recurring characters. There's like a doctor who shows up a lot in it, and specific people stories. Like the characters will have, the kids that tell it will have some of their own recurring characters that show up because they but they're disconnected from each other mostly.
Okay, but not to be confused with the Are You Afraid of Dark movies, which had one came out in the 70s and one had a remake, which is about fairies.
Completely different.
What's that? Yeah,
I guess Rick's people can take pride in that because Are You Afraid of the Dark is a Canadian show.
Yeah.
Great show. Way better. I think it was the best of those type of things compared to like the Goosebumps TV series and a bunch of the other like kids horror anthologies that they were happening at the time. Are You Afraid of the Dark had just a higher production quality, writing quality, and everything. Like it was meatier.
I didn't really watch it though.
It's been so long, but when I was like 6 years old, I did see some Goosebumps, some of Goosebumps, and yeah, it's been such a long time. So like,
or what was the other one? R.L. Stein's other program. I'm trying to remember because like there was two programs by R.L. Stein, but I can't remember the name of the other one.
I can't either.
You know that pixie dust that they threw in the fire? I can never tell really what they threw into the fire. It looked like it was some type of kindling dust, just so they could, or like this something that you would mix into like fireworks to give it a color. But it was like to make the fire go off. Which you could pick anything for that, right? You could throw like a little bit of fluorite in there, and that would make the fire go off. But they did throw a dust into the fire every single time they started their story. I love Are You Afraid of the Dark.
But when I first saw the movie Are You Afraid of the Dark, which has nothing to do with that,
Yeah,
a long time ago, back when I had cable, like I was like a teenager or something like that. But that movie's I actually wish, I think I kind of wish I saw that theaters, but the movie with the fairies killing people. 'Cause you saw about the movie about the evil, the killer fairies,
I
which
think it sounds familiar. Let me go look up an image of it.
it's 2011, 2011 of him, I think.
The Don't Be Afraid of the Dark 2011.
Don't be afraid. Yeah, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it was rated. It was rated R, despite not having any profanity or gore. Strangely enough.
Yeah, but that's when you edge things like that, it's very easy to still get like an R rating. Is that a Del Toro film?
I
Or
think
no, he
it
was
is.
just in it. He was just in it. It's by
He's just
Troy Nixie.
okay. Yeah, it's actually a remake of another movie from the 70s apparently, but it's about like killer fairies and that inhabit this house.
So
They
it's just
look
about
almost like.
fairies.
Well, exactly. They look almost like even though the movie says they're fairies, look more like lemurs, kind of like lemurs.
Mhm.
Imagine a lemur the size of a rat, the disgusting monkey thing the size of a rat.
Yeah,
That's
like
the size
actual
of.
traditional fairies. Because Mike, if you go back to say
Mm,
like Celtic myths and stuff, most fairies did not look beautiful. There were some beautiful fairies, but like fairies were a wide range of things. And the things that we call smaller fairies or like pixies and stuff, right?
mm,
Brownies is actually a more common term for the small fae folk that might
mm,
live in the mushrooms known as brownies. Um,
mm.
you did trust them. If you wandered in the forest, they'd probably eat you.
I know, but yeah,
Yeah.
but these fairies were evil when they kill people, just like in original folklore. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Or
but
Hellboy handled them, their tooth fairies, the same way, which I like that
I
a
know,
lot. I thought that was great.
I know. But I know, but in the film, what they do was they apparently kill children, collect their teeth. So we had this, and
Evans,
the main character's little girl.
Mhm.
We
uh,
has like and they scared of light. That's the thing they do scared of light. See, so they would not attack when the light was on.
Oh,
So they
Evan
don't.
had
So
something. Was
yeah,
Eureka's Castle was the answer to my R.L. Stein question?
yeah, and then he says whatever is kicking his ass.
For alligator, this is Pokemon from Johto.
okay. So whenever whenever
One
they
of my
want to
favorite
attack, they
Pokemon.
would cut the power lines. They would cut the power lines so that they can attack the house. Because they'd be on the ground most of the time.
Yeah, that reminds me of another movie about a singular tooth fairy, which I think was called Darkness Falls from 2003.
Never seen that.
Yeah, it's a horror movie about basically there was this like lady who's functioning like a witch, who lived in the town. So the town had their own specific lore about a tooth fairy, and this lady like died or whatever, and she collects people's teeth, leaves money underneath, but you can't look at her. So like if you leave it, which I don't know why you would want to put your tooth under a pillow. If you knew this entity might live in your town, but a lot of people just believed it was like folklore or whatever. But if you woke up and you looked at her face because she's horrified by like the fire that burnt her or whatever, she basically kills you, right? And the main character is like a survivor from an incident with her when he was a kid. He ended up leaving the town, but his parents or like his mom was killed by the tooth fairy, and she's like allergic to the light. So he survived by like running to the bathroom, keeping the light on, and staying in there all night until morning. Left the town, almost forgot about all of it. But then there's an incident with like a relative or whatever when he comes back to town as an adult, and obviously she still wants him. And so they go through this whole thing, which ends up going through night. At one point, the kid who saw the tooth fairy almost gets put into like an MRI machine where it's dark in there and he's starting to freak out. The tooth fairy ends up like taking the power out for the town. They end up running to a lighthouse with like emergency power and everything. And it's just like a crazy movie in a similar vein where it's like there's a thing that like, is a quote unquote tooth fairy that wants to kill them. And they have to try to stay in the light.
They wouldn't call tooth fairies and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. They
No,
wouldn't
but this
call
one is
that.
specifically a tooth fairy.
They weren't specifically tooth fairies.
And I wouldn't even really say she's like a real tooth fairy either. It's just she is why they have a story about the tooth fairy.
Okay, right. But yeah, but lots of these lot of these movies. I still surprised that someone hasn't done a Killer Mermaid movie yet.
It might have been done.
Yeah, it's just not popular. Let me look.
Yeah, because like I said, when I was a teenager, I thought doing one set in a submarine.
I mean, there's a literal movie called Killer Mermaid from 2014.
No, didn't know.
It's probably a B movie too, so.
Yeah.
Like when I was a teenager, I had a lot of weird ideas when I was a teenager. I still do as an adult occasionally, but a lot of weird ideas when I was a teenager. But when I thought about having.
I think Siren was also about a technically sort of a killer mermaid because sirens and mermaid lore are kind of overlapping anyway.
Yeah, you're not that far removed from a teenager either, Fitz. Shows up.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I wanted to make a movie about setting a submarine, about a bunch of people in a submarine, and they got to fight a mermaid.
Well, that actually sounds like a half decent premise for a nice either action film or.
Yeah, but why would the mermaid be a threat to a submarine?
Supernatural shenanigans. It's kind of like almost like Aquaman or something. like you're fighting an evil, evil Aquaman or something.
Well, I guess
have you ever seen the movie Cabin Boy?
I think I have. Now, why I could come up with, for some reason the sub can't service. Maybe they're stuck at the bottom of the thing, and the mermaid's somehow attacking.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how like the mermaid could get through the hull of the submarine. That's my bigger thing. But I guess if you make it stronger than it normally is.
No. It leads an army of other mermaids and there's other fish minions and stuff. So I'm like, it'd be like a horror movie.
Yeah. But like in the movie Cabin Boy, right? Which it stars what's his name? Chris Elliott, right? He's a fancy boy from a fancy lad. He just finished his fancy lad schooling, and he kind of gets tricked into going onto the wrong boat, and ends up on this like really roughneck fishing boat, right? And becoming the cabin boy to the captain, even though he's not supposed to be the cabin boy, and he's horrible at it. And he, while they're sleeping, goes and rewrites their route on the map to try to get them to go to the island, the paradise, Bahama type thing that he was supposed to be going to after his schooling. but it leads them through dangerous waters of uncharted territory through like an Arctic area. And on their adventure, so many things happen. But one of the things that happens is they meet Chauncey. And Chauncey is the son of a woman and a shark. So he's like a merman, sort of. And Chauncey grows a liking of the cabin boy. And he starts like attacking the boat and nearly like capsizing them. And they eventually please Chauncey enough to get him to leave, but he ends up coming back at the end of the movie and being the thing that saves them from like the giant at the weird
And when
Odyssey
does this movie come
island
out?
that they end up. When did Cabin Boy come out? Let me see. I have it on my computer, but Cabin Boy came out in 1994.
Oh, it's, no one I never saw it.
Funny movie. It's a fever dream, the entire thing. Brian Doyle Murray's in it. Andy Richter's one of the people on the ship too.
I don't recognize these names.
Wonderful cast. You don't know Brian Doyle Murray? He was in so many things. Caddyshack, SpongeBob, you know.
Well, Caddyshack, I doubt he knows about.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, he played the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob SquarePants, you know.
Oh, okay.
or
He's
voice
voice
him
of
in
Flounder.
Evan says he's going to watch Captain Ron.
And Andy Richter. I think most people, though, if they didn't see him in older stuff, probably only really know him as like Conan O'Brien's wingman.
I have vague memories of the movie Time Bandits. It's kind of like a fever dream.
Oh yeah. Well, Time Bandits is a fever dream, so don't worry about that. Like if you've actually watched it, even if you remember everything, like that movie is a fever dream.
Like
It's very
it doesn't
surreal.
seem to make doesn't really make much sense at all. Feels like a dream. Where he didn't.
But you know what? It is worth watching for Sean Connery, John Cleese, and Michael Palin's just delivery of everything alone. But I mean, obviously, Terry Gilliam was the writer and director, so of course, anything he made was a fever dream.
I believe they referenced Time Bandits and Family Guy when Ryan's tripping on mushrooms and he pushes the wall.
Probably.
Like there's reference. There's referencing Time Bandits, but
There's a lot of things that reference Time Bandits.
I don't think there's a lot of things. Just that they just step and fall and just like reference obscure things.
Well, I mean, there were during the '90s, which was like a decade after Time Bandits happened. There was quite a few things, and maybe even some during the odds. It wasn't obscure when it came out, but I could guess by the time that like Family Guy really starts doing things, it might be a little more obscure. But that is the late '90s, so that's actually about the time between the late '90s and the aughts to be referencing Time Bandits, because you're like, oh, a thing from the '80s that a lot of people watching the show probably know.
I haven't. It's funny. I did see the Orville when it first came out. Like I actually saw the first episode as it aired, but like the very premiere of the Orville, I actually saw that. But
I like
I'm like I don't
think it's good.
remember. I don't remember anything past season 1 or anything. 'Cause I
Yeah,
didn't watch
well,
it.
that's fine.
We would keep up with it with you.
yeah, well, they haven't been steady to be bringing stuff out. I've heard season 4
Is it like
supposed to
3
be coming.
seasons total or something? Or
Yeah, I think so. I hear season 4 is supposed to be coming out soon. But, you know.
yeah, I kind of stopped following it for a while because they said that Seth MacFarlane was going to drop out of the show. I don't remember if he did or not, because I went back and I watched season 3. I just don't remember much about it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I still
But
got a bunch
I
more.
liked it. It was more like Star Trek than anything Star Trek was doing at the time. So
Yeah.
But I know. I don't even bother with modern day Star Trek anymore. Like it's just.
sadly, if
it's
it
just-
comes back, Norm's character can't be there anymore. I'll have to write him out of the show.
Which
I liked his
character?
little goo. Norm Macdonald, he played the goo guy. I can't
Oh no,
remember
yeah,
his
he's
name.
he's dead. He's dead
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
well,
so they have to write his character out
they
completely.
could write his character out, or they could just somebody to get to
Mm. Yeah, he also
voice
did. I mostly know Norm Macdonald as the voice of Pigeon from Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh, Norm's been so many things. I miss Norm. Norm was great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, guys, it's that time.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
So, I'll ask.
and Edron looks great, by the way. By Rick.
Thank you. Anything you would like to promote, Fitzchozo?
No.
Okay. Metal, anything you'd like to promote?
I like the second he says no, he drops out, which is fair because we're closing anyway. But every time he drops out, I hear the put-em. Yeah, I'll just put the link for xdynamuschaos.com because I'm working on the player's manual for the tabletop RPG, which I did a little bit more yesterday on just by myself while I was letting my computer cool down from working on your thing. I'm probably going to turn my computer off immediately after we're done with this, or whenever we get out of call, so I can reset its video RAM and then probably finish your thing sometime tonight. But also, a good time to get started is Zenless Zone Zero. It probably has the new patch, so I'm probably going to get busy with that too.
Cool. And yeah, thanks Metal for coming on. Thanks Fitzchozo for coming on. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming by and chatting. Evan says, that is not my wife. I didn't know you had a wife, Evan. Anyways, yes, thanks everybody for coming by and chatting with us. It's been great having you all here. And I should be on tomorrow night. And we will be finishing up some independent or public domain characters. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful night, whenever it might be. Whatever. I'm tired. I'm not making sense. God bless.
Oh,